We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this.
And what this is, from Nutty Novelties, we have Habanero Honey Peanut Butter. And I like this idea, spicy peanut butter. I eat quite a bit of peanut butter. I use that when I do some carb loading and stuff like that before I do workouts. Usually in fact, I'll be making that very thing. It's a English muffin with raw honey and peanut butter, but, you know, chili heads, we like to fit in chili wherever we can. And this is a good way of doing it. So we have fresh roasted peanuts, honey roasted peanuts, and we also have St. Lucifer's Habanero blends. There's not additional honey on top of this. It's more the honey roasted peanuts that I believe is what they're referring to as honey here. So we might as well just get right to it. I don't know if this, it looks like the seal came a little loose here somehow, but let's just take a look here. I might need to stir this, I might not, I don't know. We'll see. Let me take a smell here. Oh man, that smells really good. It does smell like fresh roasted peanuts. And so we got some puddle of oil down there. I'm gonna get a knife and I'm gonna try to stir this up, and we'll take a spoonful of it. You can see right now this definitely is there's a lot of oil just kind of collecting. You can see it better there on the bottom. So I'm gonna stir that up real quick, and then we'll take a spoonful of it. We'll see what to do. So this texture is really fascinating. Here's a close look at it. You can see it is kind of, take another look. So you can see it's kind of a cross between, it's not quite creamy, but it doesn't have chunks in it either. It's a very coarse, yeah, that's what I would call it. It's a very coarse grind to this. And I find that really fascinating. I like that idea. And I mean, having to stir it out, generally you can tell that's a pretty good indication that it's, you know, made from fresh peanuts and so on. Yeah. This is excellent. So the question I had was, would there be enough actual honey flavor in there? Because when I have a peanut butter and honey, I don't like to have just the peanut butter override. I like a nice balance. And I gotta say, unexpectedly, that this is doing well. As far as heat, it's very, very moderate. It's about what the ass-kicking was. The ass-kicking peanut butter, which you can check out the video for that as well, if you would like. And I would put them pretty close to the same, actually. I like the texture, and I like so I like that one a lot, actually, too. I don't know, I would say they're different, but I would say they're pretty equal. This one definitely is much more sweeter. And so it comes down to whether or not you want them to do the sweetening for you, or whether you want to do it. For me, it doesn't really make a difference. I'll use this out. I'll enjoy it, just like I did the other one. I'm really interested in what the St. Lucifer's blend is. I'm assuming it's some sort of dry powder, but if it's an actual hot sauce, it does there could be some interest there. Very, very moderate heat though, even after a couple spoonfuls. So, as promised, this is what I use for loading. I actually have my loading down to science, but I've taken a lot of time off due to injury and whatnot. Now I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and of course, the old body isn't necessarily acting the way it used to. It's quite a while that I took off due to, as I said, injury, surgery, and then just life events, you know. So I want to try this out and just kind of see how this goes as far as flavor. What I used to do is I used to just get raw honey, and I got it from Whole Foods. So it was the YS Farms, I believe was the brand I was getting. I love that honey. It's an excellent, excellent honey. But I'll put that on there, and I'd usually try to get a natural peanut butter. Try to keep things clean. This one is not Sutter. Where's this from? It says Pennsylvania, maybe? Yeah, Pennsylvania. So this one, there's no, they're calling it all natural. Looking here at the ingredients, we see there is some sugar and some salt and some xanthan gum in the actual honey roasted peanuts, but that's just whatever coating is on there. The majority of this is definitely not. That's not the case. So I guess you could call it all natural, but it's not processed in the same way as like a, you know, some of your grocery stores, Jifs or whatever it would be. So anyway, after I do that, I like to put a light toast on it, just enough basically to get the peanut butter a little bit on the melty side. And so we should have that now. Let's dive in, see what we get out of this, see if we can get a little heat out of this. So I really had hoped I'd be able to not use honey on this, or not really hoped. I guess I was just trying to see if I would, and it's okay like this. I think the salt that's in the honey roasted peanuts and in the Lucifer's mix is stamping on that a little bit. Not bad. Usually what I would do is I'll put the honey down first. When it was YS, I had to let the honey melt a little bit. When it's the raw honey I use now, which is just whatever is in the grocery store, I like to let it soak into the bread a touch. Mostly because I'm really not a big fan of sloppy food. So I think we're going to have to try to, let's get some raw honey and try to drizzle it on and see what that does. So here we have local honey, and where is this out of? I'm sure this is not local to where I am. Let's see, this is Colorado. I've seen this on a lot of the Food Network shows though. I think this might be more national. We're just going to drizzle just a... I don't want to go too overboard with this because I'm putting it on the peanut butter itself, and there's nowhere for it to soak into. So there we go. All right, well, let's just see how this does. Well, now I know. Absolutely need to have honey with this. Man, that is excellent. You know, so here's the thing with this peanut butter, right? It's too expensive to eat all the time. You can get a big jar, relatively big jar, for about $2-3, right? This, I want to say this was 10. And I think that's what that, I think the Aztec was around 10 also. And so what's cool about that is if you have a chili head in your life, outstanding gift. If they're, you know, if they don't have peanut allergies and stuff. But if they like peanut butter, if they use peanut butter, this is really fun stuff. I like this. I think honestly though, just being real here, like we always are. Just being real here, I think I do like the Aztec a little bit better than this. I do like this one though, and I'm going to eat it up. You can believe that. I will be eating this whole thing up, no question about that at all. That's good. You know that I don't know. I don't remember how I stumbled onto the idea of spicy. I think I saw the Aztec one somewhere and I went, oh, spicy peanut butter. I eat a lot of, like I said, I eat a lot of peanut butter. I go through peanut butter. And the idea of all these different peanut butters that I could do, you know, for this series was really, that was just a nice synchronicity, you know, that just, it really appealed to me. And I gotta say, even though this is expensive, this is still really fun. It's really fun to do. I am going to enjoy this. Is it worth it? It depends on where you put your value, right? For one time, for doing this kind of stuff, for doing this series, yeah, I would say it is. Once. Well, if you did it all the time, though, you know that it can get pretty expensive. But the specialty name, you know, it's fun. It's good. It's a solid peanut butter. If you're gonna get one, I would say get the Aztec one first, and then if you really like that, start doing more of these. I'm gonna try to find more. I have seen a few other ones out there. I'm gonna try to chase those down and bring those to the channel also, so you can just kind of, you know, if you trust my judgment, you can say, okay, well, the high priest liked this one better than the other one, so at least that's a starting point. Doesn't mean that you will necessarily follow my taste, mind you, but it just means that it's a starting point, you know? And like I said, 2021 I really think is the year of the chili head. There's so much product out there this year that didn't exist prior to this year. It's very exciting. This one probably didn't. Some of the other ones probably did too, but I don't think they were getting that kind of attention. I think you more had to stumble across them or just know about them or somebody else had to know about them and tell you, you know, kind of word of mouth or whatever. But that's kind of what I try to do with this series, is just to throw a good back catalog of stuff out there to take a look at and say, I didn't even know this existed. I'm doing it, you know. when I look at other channels, that's what I'm looking for too. I'm not super interested, honestly, into whether or not somebody really likes something. I'm more interested in that's something I did not know prior to that, to watching that. And that's really kind of where I'm trying to go with this. But anyway, that aside, there is the Nutty Novelty Habanero Honey Peanut Butter. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.